Around 1850, William Corliss built this farmhouse. Different structure sections was added onto this house from unknown locations around Carmel. William met Betsy Johnson. They married around 1846. Betsy was 17 years old, William 24. In 1848, the Corliss had the first child, Elizabeth. In 1854, they have a second child, little William Jr. There were a number of disease outbreaks during this period of time. 3 weeks before little William's birthday, on November 19, 1856, little William dies. 6 years later, the Corliss have another son. They named this son William H. Corliss. 7 years after the birth of William H., a daughter is born into the Corliss family. Her name is Helen. 30 years after the birth of Helen, in 1899, William Corliss, the husband to Betsy, dies at the age of 76. 6 years later, in 1905, Betsy dies at the age of 76. 2 years after Betsy dies, their firstborn daughter Elizabeth dies at the age of 59. 2 years after the death of Elizabeth, her brother William H. Corliss dies at the age of 47. Records show William H. Corliss was the school superintendent of Carmel. The only living relative left of the Corliss home is Helen Corliss. Helen Corliss was in fact a school teacher in Carmel. In 1930, Helen Corliss dies at the age of 61. None of the Corliss kids married or had children of their own. The William Corliss bloodline ends. After the death of Helen, records show the Corliss farmhouse passed through multiple owners. It is not known why this house is haunted, but based on the resident of the house, she's had multiple encounters with the paranormal. A few months ago, the resident, Dawn, asked me to do an investigation into the house. Dawn said that she saw multiple apparitions, heard strange sounds in the house, and did hear voices. I've done 2 investigations of the house and concluded, without a doubt, the paranormal activity in this house is very powerful. But why? Why is this old farmhouse extremely haunted? I come back for the 3rd and final investigation. I hope to solve the mystery of this haunted farmhouse. Well, that farmhouse is built, probably around 1850, and it was built by William Corliss. The strange thing about the farmhouse is that after Helen Corliss died, that farmhouse went through multiple owners. And it's just, you can't help but to wonder, why did this farmhouse go through multiple owners?
Right. How did you find out about the farmhouse?
Well, my wife works next door here to the lamb house, and a lady works there by the name of Dawn. And I came in there one day to talk with my wife, and Dawn came up to me and said, look, the house I'm living in is extremely haunted, and I'm wondering if you can come over and check into it. And she was telling me how she's seen apparitions, and she's heard disembodied voices. She hears footsteps through the house, loud banging sounds. Now, the thing is, when somebody tells you a place is haunted and they tell you about all this activity they're experiencing, you can't help but to wonder, well, you know, is this really paranormal activity, or is this something in somebody's imagination?
Right.
You know, or are they over-exaggerating, you know, sounds, or they're seeing things and they're just over-exaggerating it. But when I first went to the farmhouse, I felt like Dawn was under-exaggerating it, because what she said about the farmhouse and her experiences, there was a far more going on there than what she was telling me.
What was the paranormal activity like on your first 2 investigations?
Well, when we first went into the farmhouse, it was getting set up, and we were walking around doing an EVP walkthrough, and instantly we started hearing the disembodied voice of a female. Now, normally when you walk into a place, you kind of got to introduce yourself. If there are ghosts there, you want to introduce yourself. You kind of want to see if you can capture anything or hear anything that can verify what the person says about the paranormal activity. Now, doing the walkthrough, we definitely heard multiple disembodied voices, but what really got me at this farmhouse was that cellar. The first investigation there, some voice kept calling me Catman, and up to this day I never did figure out why this thing was calling me Catman. And I call it a thing because I don't believe this was a humanoid spirit.
So you went back a 3rd time?
Yes. What happened was, I walked in to the mini mart where my wife works, and Dawn comes running around the counter and says, I need to talk to you. And she said that last night the activity was extremely strong. She saw apparitions in the garage. She heard multiple disembodied voices. She was packing up at this point. She's leaving the farmhouse. She's moving out. She's getting out of there. And she thought maybe the activity was being stirred up even stronger because she was packing up and leaving. And she's asked me if I can go over there. So I drop everything. I pick up some cameras. I pick up the gear. And I rush over there real fast. And this wasn't even a planned investigation. Dawn said that she saw you guys last night. The stuff going on in here today? Are you upset because she's moving? You guys upset because she's moving? Are you upset because they're moving? Is this upsetting you? I've got 2 hours to be here, so if you can talk to me within this 2 hours, that would be helpful. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back after this. And you guys kept asking for help. What's going on? Can you talk to me about it? Hello? You said this is your house. Are you wanting it back? Are you trying to claim it back? Do you not like anybody living in this house? I don't know if that was my ear that made a noise or if somebody or something just talked. Can you say that again, please? Is that you moving in here? You kept mentioning Gabby the last time I was here. Okay, I heard that. You talking down in this dark cellar? Was that you down there talking? What is that noise? Sounds like it's coming from under the house. Are you down there? Is there anybody down there? Are you coming down the steps? Are you coming down the steps? Wow. That literally sounded like somebody very light-footed coming down the steps. Oh, and by the way, who keeps calling me the F word? Whoa. Did you just hiss at me? Whoa. Did you just hiss at me? Who's in here with me right now, right in front of me? I heard a hiss noise, but then it sounded like a female voice right in front of me. I think I need to do a spirit box session in that room. Is Gabby here? Gabby, are you here? Did something happen to you? What's going on? Last night, Dawn saw two apparitions here in this house, two of you people. Is that why you're trying to get her attention? Somebody upstairs here? Are you walking around up here? Is there anybody home? All right, I know I heard very, very loud walking in this house. Who's walking inside the house? Alright, so this, I'm hearing disembodied voices. This is just beyond just top spirit box. Alright, you guys, talk to me. You keep saying you need help. Are you stuck? Are you wanting to move on? Is something holding you hostage where you're stuck here? Or do you think you're in hell and you're stuck and you can't move on and there's no hope? You're held hostage? Is that what you said? What's holding you hostage? What? What? Okay, I'm going to try a different device. And I hope maybe I can hear from you guys from this. This is a different type of spirit box. I think what you can do with this is just kind of touch it. I'm going to set it right here. Is there any way you can use this device to try to tell me what's going on? What happened to you? Are you able to talk to me about it? Did somebody kill you? Did somebody kill you? Did somebody hurt you in any way? Is there any way you can tell me what happened to? Is there any way you can tell me what happened to you? How did you die?
Fell.
Fell? Can you tell me what's in this cellar?
Ugly.
Can you tell me what's in this cellar?
Ugly. Ugly.
Did somebody...
Demon.
Demon?
Alien. Kill.
Who killed?
Teacher. Learn. Friend. Kill. Alien. Kill.
Who killed?
Teacher. Learn. Friend. Kill.
Where are you at?
West.
Where are you at?
West. Listen. I'm sorry. Listen. I'm sorry. Listen. I'm sorry. Jesus.
So why did you rush out of the house after the cellar incident?
All right. You know, going to this farmhouse alone is pretty stressful. But when I was down in that cellar, towards the end of that investigation, it felt like sting needle pricks all over my skin. And at that time, it felt like static electricity was all over me. I didn't feel right. You know, I could tell that something really, really bad happened down there. And when that spirit box said what it said, leave now, I took that as a warning. I took that as a warning that something was getting ready to happen, and it's best I pack up my gear and get the hell out of here. I wasn't mentally prepared for this investigation, let's put it that way. You know, usually when I do an investigation and I know a place has a lot of activity, it's like I have to mentally prepare myself for the investigation. This day I was not mentally prepared to encounter whatever was down there.
So what was the device used in the cellar?
It's what you call an obelisk, and it's a spirit box that it's pre-programmed with dictionary of words, and I at the time had a lot of doubts about this device, but after this encounter in the cellar, I'm thinking, wow, you know what? That device really worked. I mean, the intelligent responses. I mean, first of all, Helen Corliss was in fact a school teacher, and for that to mention a school teacher, teacher learned, friend killed, I'm thinking, wow, you know what? This is definitely an intelligent response, because not only was Helen Corliss a school teacher, but the school's right next door to the Corliss farmhouse. Another strange thing about this device, one night, sound asleep, it's like close to 4 o'clock in the morning, my wife nudges me and says, your equipment's talking. And I'm like, what? You know, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed and I'm thinking, I do hear some strange sounds. By then the TV's not running, the fan's still going, but the DVD played through all the, what we watch DVDs at night. We have to keep a fan going and have the TV going at night here in the Lamb house because there's sounds and stuff that'll just wake you up. You have to sleep with some type of sound on. But I'm sitting on the edge of the bed and I hear these strange noises and I'm not sure what it is because I'm not fully awake. I pick up my cell phone that sits next to my bed and I go ahead and hit record. And it turns out this obulus was talking. That's the spirit box thing. I can't shut it off.
What are your thoughts about fine salt?
That was pretty weird. That was strange. I mean, listen, find salt. I mean, seriously? Because a lot of paranormal investigators and people that study paranormal activity, they do believe salt is a means of absorbing negative energy. Now, I never put much thought into this. I'm not big on using material substance as a means of dealing with paranormal activity. However, I had to take what that spirit said into consideration. I looked into the salt, and I did find out that if salt is used properly, not only can it be a conduit and generate energy, but it can also absorb negative energy at the same time it gives off positive energy. So when it gives off positive energy, it's absorbing negative energy. So I wanted to put this to the test. I'm thinking, is it possible that if I use salt, can this actually give more energy for these spirits to be able to talk and at the same time shut these other non-humanoid spirits up? If that makes any sense. So I kind of ran some tests on this and I did find out if you mix salt with water, this does in fact generate a form of energy. Right, I'm just want to let you guys know. I'm doing a test down here with salt. Okay? This basement, it's got a lot of water down in it. So my theory is you mix salt with water, it'll actually increase the ions in the water, in the salt, and give a lot more stronger form of energy. And let's see if this will help these spirits talk a little bit better. All right, this is by electrical lines. I'm getting a reading there, but it's got to be right up to that in order to get a reading on it. So I'm getting a little bit of K2 readings down here, and a little bit of EMF readings from the EMF meter, but what I'm going to do first is a spirit box session. And then during the spirit box session, I'm going to pour the salt. Pour the salt. Pour the salt. I want to see if after I pour the salt, this has an effect on anything. I want to see if it increases their ability to communicate. Whoa. Guys, I'm going to test this. I'm going to pour salt everywhere. Okay? Whole container. Let's give it a second to see what happens. You guys hear it? You able to talk to me now? Okay, so before I poured the salt down right in here, I wasn't getting any K2 readings. Now I am. The salt poured in this water, does that help you guys talk better? I just felt this cold air go right by me. I mean, freezing. So you guys are definitely down here.
So you go back for the final investigation. What happened?
All right. I immediately go upstairs, and at this point, I'm not going to do a walkthrough to capture EVPs. I think that, you know, it's obvious that there are disembodied voices there. But I immediately wanted to go ahead and do the spirit box session, ghost box session in what was the toy room. Now at this point, Dawn is almost completely packed up and moved out. The upstairs is mostly empty. A lot of rooms are emptied out. So as I'm getting the equipment set up, once again, no doubt I'm hearing some disembodied voices. And what was strange about this, when I was getting set up, I started feeling stuff that just wasn't right. I mean, I felt frustrated. I felt like, and I'm not saying I was angry, but for unknown reasons I felt anger, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I feel this anger, but it's not me, the one that's feeling angry. It's something else that's angry. And I feel this sense of sadness, and once again, I'm not the one that's feeling sad, but I feel this sadness. I mean, this is hard to explain because you're feeling this stuff, but yet you're not feeling it inside yourself. It's like it's coming from somewhere else. So as I'm getting this equipment set up, I'm feeling this pure anger. And at this point in time, I feel like something's really pissed off. And whatever's pissed off, I don't think it was a humanoid spirit. I have no doubt. A lot of people may not believe in demonic spirits, but I had no doubt that there was in fact a demonic entity at the farmhouse at this moment. You guys in here? What the hell? What the hell? Hello? You making noises in this room? You making noises in this room? You making noises in this room? You trying to get my attention? Hello? You never had the opportunity to do this in this room here. I think it's important that I give you guys an opportunity to say what you need to say. Because this is definitely my last time I'm going to be here. What? Did you just say something? Can you guys talk to me on this ghost box, please? You guys here? Yeah? You guys here? Yeah? Can you tell me what happened in this house? Okay, the little child that said help me in hell. What's going on with you? Okay, the little child that said help me in hell. What's going on with you? Did somebody hurt you? Are you able to tell me your name, please? Did something happen to you in this house? Did something happen to Gabby? Who's responsible for what happened in this house? Who did this? Who's did this? Are you in here? Are you in here? Hello? What's going on? What happened with Gabby? I heard that. Demon evil. Are you trying to say whatever happened in this house was caused by an evil demon? Is that what you're saying? Did somebody kill somebody else in this house or tormented them? You talking about Alfred Clement? What did Alfred Clement do? Alright, I'm going to switch over to the spirit box. Sounds like you guys are really talking tonight, so I'm going to switch over, alright? Just give me a second. Caramel? What? What? Help you? Can you talk to me about your situation? Why are you in this house? What happened to you? You guys keep bringing up Alfred. What did he do? Did he hurt you guys? Did Alfred hurt you?
Did you use any salt at the farmhouse?
You know, I went there, I'm down in the cellar, I have this backpack on and it has 2 containers of salt in it. And I brought the salt because down in that cellar, there is a lot of moisture down there. The ground has a lot of moisture in it. So I did in fact sprinkled salt all over the cellar. But what's funny is, you see me with my backpack on walking through getting set up, and the reason why I had that backpack on walking around there getting set up, because once again I'm alone and I'm thinking if anything really bad happens, my equipment's on my back and I'm out of here. What is it that you have to say? Did you want to say it? What are you? Hi. You guys able to talk now? Can you tell me what happened in this cellar? What's going on? You able to talk to me about it, please? The girl that keeps saying help. What happened to you? Can you talk to me about it, please? Can you tell me who hurt you? Hello?
understand what they were trying to tell you about the children?
You know, I think that salt worked. I really do, because I believe that that salt gave them the energy they needed to finally get out and make it very clear what they were trying to say about the children. And I fully understood what they were saying. And there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that these spirits were the parents of children that died at a young age. And the realm they are in, they cannot find their children. And it's like they're in a realm where children are not. Capturing a child's voice in this investigation, I do not believe a small child's spirit gets trapped in a realm that's not a peaceful realm. I don't believe that. I believe, for unknown reasons, in this particular case at the farmhouse, this was not a child's spirit. Now, I'm not saying you can't capture the voice of a child's spirit, but I don't believe a child's spirit would be trapped at the farmhouse under these circumstances, if that makes any sense at all. I have captured the voice of children during investigations, and they sound happy. But for a small child's spirit to be crying, "Help me, find me," I don't believe that.
Were there a lot of children who died in Carmel?
Yes, and when I looked into this, when I studied into the amount of children that died in Carmel, let's just talk about from 1840 on to this date, the numbers are staggering.
think these parents were tormented by not being able to find their children?
I do believe they were. I absolutely believe that there was some type of dark force that had them trapped, and the parents believed that their children were missing, and this is how they were being trapped and tormented. Can you tell me what's in this cellar?
Apparition.
Did somebody...
Demon.
Did somebody...
Demon.
Demon? What? Help you?
What did you say to these spirits who said their children are missing?
I had a long talk with them, and I explained to them that your missing children that have died are not in this realm. They are definitely not here at this farmhouse, and they are definitely in a realm of peace. And for those that believe in biblical teachings, I said that they were in Abraham's bosom and they were safe and protected. And I explained to them that it sounds to me like you guys are being tormented by a spirit that's lying to you by telling you your children are missing, by telling you your children are being harmed. And I told them that's a lie. Now what's interesting about this, after I mentioned this, after I said this to them, I continue on with the investigation after I said this, and I'm capturing nothing. There's nothing. I'm getting nothing off the spirit box. I turned the spirit box to white noise, thinking, well, maybe I can capture something on that. They just stopped talking. I think this is all over with. Do you have anything else you want to say? Is there anything you want to say without the spirit box? You guys, I'm going to have to go. Is there anything you want to say before I leave? I can't come back. Are you upset because all the toys are gone? All right, I'm going to reopen up these windows if you guys wanted to say anything while I'm doing that. Do not follow me in my house, please. That wouldn't work out very well. All right?
Is this the end of the farmhouse investigation?
Wow. You know what? All right. This is how I put these videos together. What I do first is I do the investigation. I go over all the evidence. And after I listen to all the evidence and I figure out what happened in an investigation, when I put the video together, I go back and I do more recordings for openers. You know, and I'd like to do the openers based on what I captured as far as the evidence. I try to, you know, in the beginning of these videos, you hear the music and I put the captions on, and that's how I do the openers. I do these very last. And I also go back, I go out and do different video shots that can go with the video itself, the investigation. I might go to a different location. Now, as far as the children, you know, after I heard in the investigation this all had to do with children, and these parents were looking for children, I went to Ruggles Cemetery to do that, what you saw in the video, of the children's graves. And even while I was at Ruggles Cemetery, I wasn't even doing a paranormal investigation, but either way I captured paranormal activity, and I wasn't even there trying to capture paranormal activity. So I go back to the farmhouse to do the video shots of the opener of the final investigation of the farmhouse. And while I'm getting the video shot, I see something moving in the window. And I'm thinking, okay, well, Don's no longer here. There's no curtains in the window, and I don't believe that there's anybody in the house, but yet I'm seeing something moving in the window. Whoa. I'm hearing voices big time. So after I saw that, I went back, gathered up all my equipment, and rushed back to do an investigation real quick to find out if I can find out who this was. Who was the female that was looking out at the window at me? Is she here? She was in the Corliss house. Is there any way you can tell me her name, please? What's really strange about all of this, I recently did an investigation about the lady in white with the long dark hair. And I did that investigation on Highway 69. And that was at the house where the parents said they saw an apparition of a female with long dark hair and wearing white, looking over the crib of Lacey. I did that investigation, and when I viewed this apparition captured in the window, I'm thinking, that really seriously looks like the lady in white. Even more crazy about all this, as you saw in that investigation, the family is moving out of that house on 69 because the house is going to be demolished. They were in the process of moving into the farmhouse. And the little pink chairs and stuff that you saw in the window, that belonged to Lacey. So is the farmhouse investigation over? I don't know. It doesn't look like it.